Parents strongly caution the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
All right. Happy Memorial Day.
Heck yeah.
We got the one and only fucking guitar legend, Bumblefoot, on with us. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. I'm just scrambling with all my social media crap. Like, I gotta post this thing. I should have done this a week ago. What the hell am I doing?
I know. I try to keep up with all the social media stuff, and it seems like every year something else comes up and something new pops out, and I'm like, shit, now I got to learn this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely crazy. So, what do you have going on currently?
Nothing.
Nice.
So let's see. To start with, I'm going to be coming to Louisiana, and I'm bringing a buttload of hot sauce. And for anybody watching that doesn't know, my second love is hot sauce all my life. And I've had a hot sauce business for a good 11 years now. And there is this wonderful restaurant in Metairie called Rock and Roll Kitchen. Yes. And they are going to be using my sauces in their burgers and their wings and their recipes and their stuff. And they're going to have bottles of it available for people. So I am heading down there with a suitcase full of hot sauce, and we're going to hang out all day on June 1st. And that's it. We're going to hang, we're going to eat, we're going to burn, we're going to just have a good time. So, yeah.
Yeah, we had them on Friday night. They came on and hung out with us, and wouldn't tell us none of the secret stuff until like after the fact. But they're like, you know, his signature burger is going to be awesome and fucking amazing. But really, I mean, honestly, what got you into hot sauce to begin with?
Okay. I was 12 years old, and my older cousin Steve, he bet me $5 I couldn't eat a hot pepper. It was like a big family get together, and we got all these cold cuts and peppers and this and that and all this stuff. And I guess the wherever they got the food from, they had a bunch of hot cherry peppers also. And at that age, I'm like, I gotta save up for gear. I'm trying to get new pickups for my guitars and stuff like that. So I was like, $5 could go a long way. So I'm like, all right. So I ate it, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I was like, good, this is good. And from that point on, look at someone just wrote sex. Tell us about sex with ducks. I'll tell you about that. tough squeeze and a lot of quacking.
Wrong
Yeah,
podcast. Wrong podcast.
Yeah. That's the duck injection. So, yeah, it's a song. We'll get to that. So, now I'm completely sidetracked. What the hell are we talking about? Oh, yeah. So from that point on, I would always put spicy peppers and spicy stuff in my food, and I just loved spicy food more and more. And people knew it. So they would always get me, hey, happy birthday. And they would get me some weird hot sauce. And half my fridge would be full of just bottles of hot sauce. And you get very familiar with it all, and you start getting ideas. Like, oh, what if there was something that combined this and this and that and that? And then you start venturing into, I want to make my own. And I teamed up with this fantastic company called K-Johns out of Ohio. And they took me under their wing, and I had flavor ideas, and they made them happen. And they expanded on that, and together we rolled out a line of 6 sauces back in 2013. And they did well. They did really well. And then they sold the company at some point. So I was like, all right, I got to make my own food company. So from there, I got the manufacturer, I got the label maker, the people that are bottling everything, and then the distributor, and reached out to different resellers in Australia and Norway and the UK and Canada, everywhere, Germany, everywhere. So that's it. So I got my own hot sauce business, and you can get them at Rock and Roll Kitchen in Louisiana.
Soon, very, very soon.
All right, what's up, Matt?
So I have a question.
Go ahead, Mojo.
So do you like the burn your face off hot sauce, or do you prefer the mild hot sauce? What's your preference?
Both and everything in between. Let's see, for example, last night, the missus, she made some chicken, asparagus, delicious. She's great at making food. I'm great at eating food. She's great at it.
I hear you.
And the chicken had this nice flavor to it. I was like, I'm going to give it a little kick. So I went and I put on some stuff called the Last Dab, which is very hot sauce. And I just dumped a bunch on the side. And the first thing I did is I took the first piece of chicken and just slathered it in there. And my mouth was burning for the rest of the meal, as well as everything else. And I enjoyed it very much. But then there's other times when you just want a whole lot of flavor with just a little kick. Yeah. Just something to, Okay. It all depends. It's that's the thing. It's like music, whatever mood you're in. One day you're going to listen to the Bee Gees. The other day you're going to listen to fucking Goathead. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. Goat whore rather.
Know them very well.
Yeah.
So what, other than your own hot sauce, what would you say has been your favorite hot sauce that you've ever had?
Oh, there's a ton.
Hey, let's go through them. We got plenty of time.
All right. Marie Sharp made this grapefruit habanero that I used to love.
You got me. You got me. The minute you had mixed fruit with habanero, for some reason, that's always been my favorite. Like, there's this place down the street that does wings, and my favorite thing there is their mango habanero. And oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Fruit and hot peppers go together very well. You always want to find these nice balances. And those two work. The sweet just gives you that kind of sweet high, and the punch of the peppers. So it's just a lot of contrasting sensation that work well together. In my sauces, I have one red sauce, which is an all-purpose sauce. It goes with pretty much everything. I wanted to make an everything sauce, something that could work on your eggs in the morning, could work on vanilla ice cream with bacon. I mean, all kinds of crazy shit. You'd be surprised at things that hot sauce works with. Yes.
I need
in fact,
a lid.
there is in Thousand Oaks, California, there is this Italian ices shop that makes spicy cherry ices. That's phenomenal. Yeah. It's Leone's Italian ices. Yeah. It absolutely, but again, it's also the fruit thing. That's really what does it. So, all right. So my everything sauce, which is a whole lot of have you tried Holmo by Karma? Karma sauce is great. They make great stuff. Am I allowed to curse on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you go at it.
Okay. Yeah, they're fantastic. There's one that we eat at home a lot. We always put it on tacos. It's called Taco Cat. And it's a really good sauce. And every time we're making any kind of Mexican stuff, we just douse it on there. See, there you go. Hot sauce and ice cream is fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to try it. I've never tried it. I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Let's do it.
A lot of things. Peanut butter.
Let's do it. Let's
You
give it
peanut
a try.
butter?
Yeah.
You ate like a peanut butter and hot sauce sandwich? Is that what you're telling me?
I wouldn't just do peanut butter and hot sauce, but let's think of it this way. Have you ever had like a peanut sauce in Asian food that has
I like
to it? Yeah. There you go. It goes with a lot of things. So I have my all-purpose everything sauce that goes, it has Mediterranean herbs, a ton of flavor. It's like a table sauce, just a good red sauce that goes with everything, but it's more complex than just vinegar and peppers and salt or something like that. Yeah, really good stuff. And that one is just called the sauce. That's what it is. It's the sauce. That's the one. Then I got a barbecue-y kind of one that's got cherries and bourbon and chipotle. And it's great for anything that you want to go a little more dark barbecue with. So if you got stir fry, if you got chicken, if you got steak, whatever the hell it is, that one. Also, it's a mild one. And I have seen people actually drink it, that they liked it that much. Yeah. Not like they pour a glass of it like a beer and, but take the bottle. Yeah. That's when you know that is tasty. But then the hottest one that never should have been created ever. It's just it never should have ever
challenge. Right.
There you go. Kurt knows. Bumblicious sauce is killer. I have that on everything. Yes, Bumblicious.
Right.
That's the one. Kurt knows.
The
hottest one. Now the folks at Hot Ones, that group, they did a blog one time. And they said that this next sauce I'm going to tell you about is the third hottest sauce in the world. And this one is just pure pain. Some people think that they taste something in it. And it has a lot of tropical fruit. It's got a little bit of ginseng and caffeine. But it is so hot that you just take like a pin or a pen and you just take the tip and you just touch a dot of it. And you put that in your mouth, and you will be on fire for 10 to 15 minutes from here to here. And one drop of it will heat up an entire plate of food easily. Now, this one, and oddly, it is the best seller. People like pain. And the name of this sauce is Bumblefucked. Yes.
Yeah, because you're going to be booked after you have that. That stuff sounds hot.
Yeah, people, it lives up to its name.
There's the Rock and Roll Kitchen right there. What's up, y'all?
Oh, hey, guys.
Hey!
I feel a challenge coming on.
I do too.
One thing I like to do every year, usually towards the end of summers, I like to do a charity run where I do stupid shit for charity. And I think the worst one I ever did, they had me, I think it was a couple of years ago, and it was god-awful, horrible. And I wished I never would have done it. But I did get 10 grand raised by the end of the day. So it was doing the Pocky One Chip Challenge with a tarantula on it, with a nitro gummy bear melted on top of it. And then this sauce that somebody sent me that was like, it was from some little hot sauce company out of Utah, and it was made for the Hellboy movie. And it was this Hellboy Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that Inferno on it and ate that shit. And that I've never been set on fire so bad. I'm pretty sure I did not throw up. I thought I was going to puke. I did not throw up, though, but I don't know how much milk and ice cream I went through after that whole ordeal. And the gummy bear is bad because it's like you're chewing it and then it gets stuck to your teeth. And then 30 minutes later, after you think it's done, something comes undone out of your teeth and then your ass is lit up again.
It's like napalm in your gums.
And again. And oh my God, it was horrible. So now I feel like I need to do something with the Bumblefoot.
I think so.
to raise some money. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to put something together, and we're going to use the Bumblefoot to do it. And I'm probably going to regret it afterwards, but
yeah, most definitely. Yes.
You know, it's
I'll
okay.
have the milk and ice cream ready. And the camera. I'm gonna be like,
we might do it when I'm at your house in like 30 days. We might do it. We might do it.
Here we
then.
go. It's happening.
Okay.
Film it. I want to see.
Done. We'll
heck, you can come in if you want. I'll let you watch the whole thing with us.
So
it's gonna be funny.
Do you have anything in the works that you could talk about as far as hot sauce?
You know, I am so long overdue for making some more sauces, some more flavors. The last one I did was a sauce for the Shiprocked Music Cruise. Made an official sauce for them. Okay. And that was, I guess, over a year ago. But I need to expand the line, something. Do some even limited edition kind of things. And I have a long list of flavor ideas and things that I want to do. I'm just so busy with all this music crap. It gets in the way of the hot sauce.
I actually went, so there's this place that is, I don't know if it's like a chain thing, but they just started popping up here called the Pepper Palace. And it's this store that has, I mean,
wall to wall.
Yes, millions of different companies of hot sauce and seasonings, and that's all they carry.
They should have my stuff there.
So the Pepper Palace has got this stuff that I've seen it, and I've been a little apprehensive to try it, but I want to go ahead and try it. But they actually have a hot sauce that is made with watermelon.
Ooh.
What's it made with?
I can't remember the name of it. I just remember they had it in a display, and it was watermelon.
That's one of my ideas. Is watermelon mint hot sauce.
Watermelon mint.
Mint. Yeah.
Oh,
so that it's like it's hot, but it also gives you like a cool sense.
Huh.
That one sounds good.
It would definitely work. Picture it on lamb.
Ooh. Nice little mint sauce. Like, I know where you're going.
Mm-hmm. It would work.
It would.
I just went to a party not too long ago, and they actually had it was like a I don't know what they had in it. I know it was like a habanero jelly that was mixed with brie. And you took the cracker, you dipped the brie, and then put the jelly on top and down the hat. And it was one of the best things I think I've ever eaten in my life. And I was really apprehensive about it. Like, really apprehensive about it. But it was so good. I'm like, good. Peppers and hot sauce. Like, I'm a big hot sauce fanatic. Huge. I always have. Spicy food is my favorite food ever. Whether it's seafood, Mexican, Thai, whatever. I love anything spicy and hot. I like to try it. And the things that they've been coming up with over the last few years. Actually, I seen one the other day that was like banana, something else, habanero, and Carolina Reaper. And I'm like, banana.
Ouch.
I'm willing to try it. I'll try anything once.
It's really hard to screw up a hot sauce. Like pretty much anything, a lot of things work. A lot of things go together that you wouldn't consider.
Now, do you feel like
very creative with it?
Like there's a hot that's like too hot and it's like not worth it?
Well, it's just the concentration of it. Like if you can have pepper X in a sauce, the hottest. But if you just have a tiny bit and the rest of it is just a lot of water, a lot of tomato base, and you have brown sugar or something like that, it'll have a very background, strong kick, but it's not going to overwhelm you. Where you can have something that's full of jalapeno that will kick your ass because it's just almost pure pepper.
Right.
So it really depends on how much capsaicin is in there. That's the hot chemical in peppers. If it's something that's an extract where it's just the pure capsaicin added in, that is going to elevate the heat level of that sauce beyond. Yeah. So it's all just getting creative with the recipes.
Okay. Because like, have you done the Pocky One Chip Challenge?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So to me, I mean, it tasted like shit to me. I mean, it was horrible. God dang. It was like a stale chip dipped in pure fucking I don't know. And it was horrible. The taste was just god awful. And I always wonder why. Like, why does it taste like stale as hell, and why is the taste so fucking horrible?
I think it's more about testing your limits with the sensation of it. It's for people that love the high that they get from spicy food, from that heat, and they want that intensity. So it's not about the flavor at that point. It's more about your threshold and pushing your limit. So it's really more about that. There's the One Chip Challenge. Now, Pocky also has a great ghost pepper chip, which is a step down from there. It's edible and it's fantastic. There is the Duel, which is 2 chips dusted with pepper X powder. And you're supposed to, you and another person, take 5 steps, and then you eat the chip. And I did it when I was in Ireland. I was recording this band, the Dodies, great band. We did the Duel. And the singer was in the corner just vomiting. And I was curled up in a ball just from trying a piece of the chip. And my wife did the chip. And she's like, yeah, it's hot. She's like a cyborg. She can, seriously, she has the tolerance of a fucking cyborg. It's incredible. But women do have a stronger tolerance than men, from what I've seen. They do. We'll be crying in a corner, and women will be like, "What? I do childbirth. This is nothing," you know.
Right?
Yeah.
True that. All right, we got a question. Do you ever struggle with balancing the flavors, especially with fruit and spice balance?
Oh yeah, it's definitely, it's just using your taste buds. When I was first making Bumblicious, I wanted it to be blueberries in there.
Ooh,
and they just weren't popping. Once they were cooked, they got very mellow. They just weren't bursting. And the Cajuns folks said, what you're looking for, like that effect with the flavor, we'd be better off using sour cherries. And not just regular cherries, but like sour ones, because once those cook and mellow out, they still have the brightness of it.
Okay.
So it's experimenting in the kitchen. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. Some fruits are more acidy as others, so I would expect that you have to kind of play off of that. Like if you're going to have an orange or maybe a lemon or a lime, that's going to be a whole lot different when it comes to the peppery.
Yeah, lemon and lime will certainly cut through. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right, guys, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with Mr. Bumblefoot, and we're going to get into some music stuff after this.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
go check out our friends Eve to Adam going on tour here in just a few days. Check out 434 Management. All you little fans need some stuff done, go contact them. Anyway, so what you got going on musically? You've done so much in your career that it's fucking ridiculous to begin with.
A big old long list.
Yeah, I've done a few things.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things that people don't even know about. Did you know that 20 years ago, I used to go under fake aliases and make lounge music albums under fake names where it would be spoofing different artists? Like,
no.
There's this... And
I saw that you enjoy lounge music because I was going to actually ask you about that, because when it says like, you know, heavy metal, rock and all that, and then all of a sudden you see lounge music and I'm like, what?
Tom Jones, Engelbert.
Yeah.
I love
that. Music's great, right? That's what it's for.
Yeah. I did an album that was a combination of metal and lounge music called Uncool. Yeah, this was in early 2000s. But yeah, and that's how I ended up getting that gig of doing these lounge albums of Outkast. I did one where I was taking Outkast songs and turning them into really cheesy lounge songs. Yeah. And I had two names that I went under. One was Herbert Ruffles Lovecraft, and then the other one was this like belligerent, senile, old, crotchety kind of dude that would like yell at his band mid-song, and his name was Checkers Goldstein.
Checkers
Goldstein. So, the first couple of songs I did as a guest working with an old friend of mine named Richie Castellano, who has been a member of Blue Oyster Cult for a long time now. Super talented. And he has a video thing called Band Geeks. And now him and his band of the Band Geeks are backing up John Anderson from Yes on his tour.
That's awesome.
Yeah, super talented guy. So we did together some that were spoofing Eminem and Ozzy and Sabbath. And it was just such ridiculous. It was, just so absurd. And I don't think either of us have laughed so much trying to record something in our lives, because so much was just spontaneous, random, just fucking up the lyrics purposefully, on purpose, and just, yeah.
So what made you get into lounge music? Like, how did that even start?
Oh, it's good songs. It is. If you listen to those songs, look, I'm a metalhead like the next guy, and I love all kinds of shit. But if you really just break down the songs, it's just great, feel-good stuff. I like feel-good music. Stevie Wonder, a lot of Motown stuff. And lounge music was just more of the like innocent, less edgy version of a lot of that. It was like very kind of, call it, I wouldn't even say innocent, but just non-edgy pop music of the 60s and 70s, when there was a whole lot of great music happening of all different styles. Everything was just fucking great back then. You couldn't find bad music in the 60s and 70s. It's true. Try and find something bad from them, from that era.
I can't even think.
No, like whatever it was. Seriously, like if you think of the 70s, let's say, if you think about the music back then, it's hard to find something that sucked. Like in whatever type of music it was, the funk, the punk, the blues, the classic rock, the disco. You know, the young me would shoot the old me if he heard me say it. But listening back to all the disco stuff, you know, at the time I was a total Kiss fan, and you know, I felt super betrayed just when Dynasty came out. I was made for loving you. I was like, this is not good. They went to the dark side. And it was the enemy of rock. You know, right, rock number one on the wall of my school, and then the next day someone crossed it out and say disco number one. It's like, oh shit. Like, no. Yeah, like 8 years old, 9 years old, and then disco sucks. And then rock star, and then you try and wait and find the person so you can. But listening back to it, even disco, like the orchestration that was going on, the vocals, the harmonies, the percussion, and from just a musical geek standpoint, looking at the chord changes of stuff that was happening, it was really just amazing shit that was being written. But it was the same if you listened to Fleetwood Mac, or if you listened to Queen, or if you, I mean, there was just, whatever it was great stuff happening. So yeah, and even the lounge music. Now I got to get a guitar.
Get it.
There's one right behind you.
The music is, you know, it was just nailing it. Let's say, you know, even the Ramones, you know, it was really just very poppy, kind of just 1-4-5 type of stuff, but it was stylized in a way that was really fucking cool. But you break it all down, and just like anything, it gets down to the same kind of molecules and the same kind of atoms. It's the same with music. You know, the exterior is styled in a certain way to appeal to a certain mood and a certain culture or a certain whatever the fuck. But when you break it all down, it's just waves in the air that are being combined. And those combinations of waves become very complex. And when they mix with the waves in our head, it makes us feel something. And it's just an incredible bit of chemistry and medicine that happens. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell to do with this thing. Actually, I've been using this. I started fucking around with like these picking patterns and doing things where it's like 3 notes on per string, played in triplets, and figuring out how many variations I could make. And then I started charting them out, and I came up with, just starting off with 27 variations. And then I'm like, all right, well, what if we start splitting what's happening in each direction? And then I came up with 19,683 versions. And that's going to take a long time to write out. And then I started saying, well, that's just per string. Now, like per, yeah. But now what if each group of strings does something different? And then it if it's in pairings of, you know, 5 in each direction different, it's 196,830 different variations of just the order that you put 3 notes. And I'm fucked because I'm going to practice all of these. And I'll see you in about 35 years. Not that I'll be around, but I'll die with a guitar in my hand, and it'll say like 78,426. Anyway, so yeah, this is why I have no life. So anyway, but if you take music, all right, a lot of it goes back to things we heard in classical music, which is there's a 5-to-1 ratio of, let's say you have a scale. La, 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 la. Right? You got 7 notes, because the 8th one is really just the first one where it's vibrating twice as fast. We call that an octave. Good. What is an octave? It's the knack. That's an octave. It's an octave. anybody knows what that last song was, you win a donut.
Donut.
What that last song was.
Let's see what happens.
5 seconds, then I'm telling you.
Yep, nope.
4. Bytor and the Snow Dog from Rush.
Oh,
See, I'm not a Rush guy.
brought that one back.
So, anyway, so you have all of that, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you hear the 5, it makes you think that it's going to finish on the 1. There's just something about it, and it's just the way there's something left hanging in the top of the chord. It's what we sense when we do this. That little,
Yeah.
it's
That one little
just
last
giving you the tip of the iceberg of that, which is 1, 5, 1. Something about the 5 away from the 1 or away from anything. A 5 away from anything makes you feel like it's going to resolve on that anything. It's like a lead-in. So in music, if you want to make something have impact, you can have that 5 before it. Whatever it is. Each morning I wake up, I die a little. Can't barely stand on my feet. That little, that right there. That's what makes this feel like it happened. Otherwise, it'd be. It just feels more transitional, but it feels like it actually was the place you were supposed to get to by having the 5 before it. So it was something you would hear a lot in old classical music, you know, Baroque stuff. So it's something that happens in music all the time. Let me do it in the right key. That's fucked up. That's not cool. That's 5. 1, 2. And it just makes it feel like that when that 1 chord hits that it's supposed to. Like you feel the build towards it. And the same with the. Can you do Freebird?
Ooh, that's a good one. Please hold.
In fact, all right, let me see if I can get some sound up here. This might take a second. But since we're talking Freebird, now I'm in teaching mode. See what you did?
Did it now.
Cubase on, and if you want Freebird, you need slide. So we need this, and we need this to get the sliding in there. So I'm just waiting for the virtual amp to kick in. Once I play fucking Freebird.
There's always got to be that one.
Yeah, it's you gotta know. You gotta know, all the classic Sabbath. You gotta know Iron Man. You gotta know, Paranoid and all that stuff. You gotta know, of course, what else you gotta know?
Water.
And dare I play? And then Freebird, of course.
Like you played it long enough, you should know.
Just wait for the end to get in. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute. It's a whole lot of plugins to load in. Cubase Pro 13, and once that kicks on, we'll have some sound on this thing. But yeah, so even Freebird, the reason that it circles around and sounds right when it comes in again is the end of it. 5 chord. 5, 1, If I... Okay, hang on. Wait, it's starting to load. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let me get a nice free birdie sound. What do I have right now? Put on some volume. What do I have right now? Oh no, wait, I got to get this off because I have my thing on. Gone.
Gotta love technology sometimes, right?
Yeah. So. Let me get a pretty classic rock sound. So we're going to go into Helix native plugin. It emulates the Line 6 Helix pedal and all the wonderful sounds you get out of that in a plugin version for your recording software. And it is my main tool for sound, guitar sound. So let's see, do I have something kind of, that's a good one. Let's see, what's this? I have like a million different sounds here. That does sound right. That one has almost like a talking kind of thing. What's this one? It says Country Git. What's that? Let's go for a few more. Let's try this Fender Punch Clean. Oh, it has its own little wobble to it.
Nice.
Make it even more like imperfect. All right, let's keep on looking. But you get the idea. So yeah. So yes, the 5 chord. So now if you listen to tons of metal songs, listen to jazz songs, listen to anything, and you might start noticing that in there, it's kind of decoding all the green matrix shit. We're off on a way big tangent here. I'm probably boring the crap out of everybody.
That's okay.
So what am I doing now? Besides 196,000 variations of a triplet 3-note per string pattern. Okay, the band Whom Gods Destroy, which sort of evolved out of a band I had, Sons of Apollo. I thank you, Kurt. I'm glad you're fascinated by this. We got one fascinated watcher. I appreciate it. So Sons of Apollo is a band that I had with Mike Portnoy on drums, Billy Sheehan on bass, Jeff Scott Soto on vocals, and Derek Sherinian on keys. He and I started another thing that's similar because Sons of Apollo wasn't going to continue, and it's called Whom Gods Destroy. With a, thank you, Justin, with a great cast of characters in there. We got Bruno Valverde, who's this incredible drummer from Brazilian band Angra. We have Yasna Mora, who's this incredible guitarist and bassist. And then we have Dino Jalusic on vocals, who's one of the greatest voices you can ever hear. He sounds like a mixture of like Dio, Coverdale, and Cornell all mixed into one. And they're all just great guys. So we put out an album, our debut album, in March. And now we're going to work on a second album, and then we'll get out and tour. We don't want to tour with the first album where we don't have enough original music to fill a headlining show, and we're stuck doing covers and all this bullshit stuff. So we want to wait until we have a good show's worth of original music, and then we're going to get out and play. So that I am working on, well, not working, I have finished my solo album a year ago. And I've just been so busy with launching other bands and stuff and producing that I've had to put it to the side to get everything else done. And now I am working on my solo album release stuff. The music is done, the album is mixed, it's all good to go. It's been that way for a fucking year. And there's just a lot of things I want to do besides just putting it out. It's like, here it is, Spotify, goodbye. No, I want it to be just more of an experience when you listen to it. What do I mean by that? You have music videos now and stuff like that, for the last, 40 something fucking years. But what I'm doing is, for the first song that I'm going to put out as a single, besides putting it out everywhere before the album comes out, and besides putting out this insane animated video that I've been working on since November, of just this crazy stuff going on, a video game. You will have a video game, a free video game that you can, as you listen to the song, you get to play a game. So it doesn't get boring.
So kind of like Guitar Hero, kind of.
Not even. It's well, the song. Okay, the first song that I'm gonna put out is called "Simon in Space." It's about my cat, and he's in a spaceship and he's shooting space mice. And so it's a very simple throwback kind of game where it just looks like a maze, and and you're in the spaceship and you just it's not elaborate at all. Like it's it's just something to do, to have fun while you're listening to the song. So instead of just listening to the song, you get to engage and do something. And
it's like a choose your adventure.
Kind of. Something like that. So there's these kind of things that I want to do to make the album release more interesting. I've transcribed the entire album. Every finger, every picking direction, every single thing of every guitar in every song that happens in there. And put that out too for any of the psychos that want to figure out what the hell I did, which I hope they do so they could teach it to me, because I don't know. And so just doing anything more than just putting out the music. Right. So I'm getting all of that ready to go. And it's taken a while. It is definitely taking a good chunk of time. But at least when it comes out, it won't just be thrown against the wall and then falls off the wall and it's like, okay, that's the end of that. So just something that's just more engaging for people. Yeah.
Okay. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What was that one defining moment or that one defining band that made you want to become a musician?
Oh, that's easy. It was Kiss. I was 5 years old, and like everybody, it was like, I want to be a fireman, a policeman, an astronaut, a ditch digger, like whatever the list is. And then the Kiss Alive album came out just weeks before I turned 6 years old. And I don't know what kind of secret messages were in that album, but it did that for a lot of people. And I heard that album at 5. I said, that's what I want to do. And I started doing it. When I was just turning 6, put together a band with my brother and my neighbor, John, and we started writing songs. We started making demos using multiple cassette players where one would record the music. The drums would be like 10 feet away. We'd have our little nylon string guitars right in front of it, record the music, and then play that music back with this one recording and sing so that we overdub our vocals onto this one with the music playing. And we made demos, and we would do concerts in the backyard, at the school we went to, wherever we could, and would make up little concert tickets and cut up cups of confetti to throw in the air at the end, and just never stopped. The gear got better, the concerts got bigger. The songs got worse. But, yeah, and that's it. I just stuck with it my whole damn life. So I'm 54 now. So we're talking, going on 5 decades of this shit. Yeah.
So when did you get your first actual big break? Everybody talks about their big break. When was that for you?
It's a slow climb of different things. It's like you're playing locally. There's the first time you play at a bar. I was 14 years old. It was the 80s. Nobody checked ID. No one gave a shit. If you had a puberty mustache, you're in the door. And yeah, it was great. There was starting to play bars. Then there's from there, when you start doing those gigs where it's like, oh my God, we're opening for a national act. Those. And And then there's gigs where you just start getting, well, there's your touring where you start traveling. That's like the next thing. It's like a frog in a boiling pot and not realizing that it's boiling. It's just that he just keeps accelerating. And then after that is the first time you do it overseas or something like that. First time you have a release through a record label. I was doing compilation albums where I had like these guitar compilations and I would have a song on them. And then I had my first record deal putting out my own music. First album came out in 1995. Then touring in Europe for the first time, which was I think 1997. And those shows getting bigger. Then starting my own record label in 97, 98, and putting out my own music and getting distributors and doing all that and producing bands and meanwhile, the teaching side of things was growing. I went from, teaching in mom's basement to teaching at a local music store to teaching at the Sam Ash Music Institute to eventually becoming an adjunct professor at New York State College, teaching music production and everything. At one point in my early 20s, I was running I made the entire music program for this private school that didn't have a music program. So everything from music for kids to a jazz band, to a choir, to everything, music history. You just keep doing everything, and every branch of that tree of everything you do just keeps growing. And then you get asked to play, with a known artist. I remember I did a gig with Sandra Bernhardt, Nancy Sinatra, and brain fart, fucking, what the hell? Girls, just Cyndi Lauper. Yeah. So I was like backing band guitarist for that. And then soon after, it just like it kept going. I'm trying to think of everything from there that was happening. Joe Satriani invited me on stage to jam with him at PNC Bank Art Center. I don't know, it was like 14,000 seat or something. Yeah. And then I was recommended to join Guns, and then once that happens, life changes. That's the big step.
Right.
Everything was on the incline. Everything was on its way up. Every single thing I was doing. So, just those steps happen. Meanwhile, I was making music for a lot of TV shows and video games and horror movies and stuff. So, like the TV show stuff was killing. Like in the early 2000s, every time you turned on MTV, just about every show you saw, I had music in it.
God.
You name a show, I had something in there. The Osbournes, Hogan Knows Best. I don't even remember all the shows, but like pretty much every damn one. And then that expanded even more. I had backing music. People didn't realize they were hearing my music in So You Think You Can Dance. Oprah Winfrey, Tom Brokaw, NHL, MLB, WWE Raw, lots of that. Yeah.
So was there ever a point where somebody asked you to do something that you were just like, holy shit, like I can't even believe I'm like in this fucking moment right now?
Frog in the boiling water. You just, like things, you get asked things and it's more of something unexpected. And it's like, can I pull this off? And it's like things that you're not expecting because you're on your own trajectory, whatever it is. And then something comes from left field, like, hey, do you want to become the lead singer of Asia? It's like like things like, but even that, like it had its steps. I did this, as part of this fun band. We only did a couple of shows, but it was Carmine Appice on drums, Rudy Sarzo on bass, Jeff Downs from Yes and Asia on keys, The late, wonderful Phil Narrow, who was the singer of Tallis, Billy Sheehan's band, on vocals. I was on guitar, and Gene Cornish from the Rascals was on guitar. Totally different styles and everything, but I'm a huge Young Rascals fan. Going back to like lounge music and stuff like that. Not that they were loungy, like they were some cool shit. But they had one song called How Can I Be Sure, which was pretty kind of loungy. It had that triplet swing kind of waltzy feel, almost in the vibe of like Tom Jones' Delilah, and very melodic and big orchestration going on and just very musical. And I remember hearing it in a taxi in Florida while I was taking my wife to go on a cruise. This is when we were just dating, and she was in veterinary school, busting her ass. So I would just take her on nice vacations and things. And we were on our way from Miami airport to the port. And in the taxi, I heard that song for the first time. And I never forgot it. If I like a song a lot, I'll just keep it in my head and not let go of it until I figure out what the hell it is. And it was years later until I could find what that song was. And it was that song, How Can I Be Sure? It happened another time, because this is all really before Google, before, you couldn't do very much searching, unless you had like the Netscape browser and AOL 2.0. Yeah, I'm talking very early 90s. There was another song, similar situation. I was watching a movie called The Rapture with Mimi Rogers. Really heavy movie. People should watch this movie. It's heavy as fuck. But I heard the song. Let me get the other one. And I didn't know what it was. And it just kept circling around. And it was descending while it was like holding this center in the melody, and it was just like it would form this endless loop where the chord changes would just keep going and going and going, and it was just beautiful. And I was like, what is this song? And I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know where to get it or anything, and I just waited. And it must have taken like 15 years before I heard the song again. I was like, oh my God, okay, it's Joe Beam. It's this beautiful Brazilian song. So anyway, yes, Gene Cornish, guitarist of the Rascals. It was very just like, like theatrical,
Right.
that big vibrato, kind of,
Wakes up the senses a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Whenever I away from you, I never know the words to song. I just know the melodies. Like, it's just my brain is effective that way. I can't remember words, but I'll remember a million melodies. It's just a beautiful song. And the way it would share notes and use them to pivot into a new key where the note had a different meaning. Like over here, it's suddenly becomes just fantastic stuff. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We're going all over the place. So,
what got me into music was it? Oh wait, no, what was like a big moment?
Yeah.
And then I was saying about Asia, like how the hell does that happen? So we did these gigs, and Jeff Downs, wonderful guy, so just amazing. And he's in Yes and he's in Asia. So when Asia was going to tour, they asked me if I would play guitar with them. And in 2017, I couldn't because I was supposed to be touring with another band, and Sons of Apollo was just getting off the ground, and I needed to just stick around. But then in 2019, they had another tour, and they were going to be direct support for Yes. And they asked me if I would play guitar, and I said, hell yeah. And then the singer that they had lined up couldn't do it. So then they just said, why don't you sing? You could do this. And it's like, oh God. It's like, okay. I was like, what am I doing? I can't do this. Because I'm more of I'm like an old metal singer with a high brassy voice, and I'm more like Judas Priest, stand up for Exciter, like that kind of voice. And then I gotta be like, I never meant to be so bad to you. And it's just a totally different way of singing. And it's like, how am I gonna change my genetics to get it where I can sound like John Wetton and people will reminisce when they hear the music and I don't sound wrong, and pay proper tribute to the music, the legacy and everything. So I just spent a shitload of time just figuring out how to sound more that way, and just busted my ass just constantly drilling it in so that it became the new default way that I would sing. And went out there and I'm staring at thousands of people and it's like, oh shit. And I opened my mouth and it's like, okay, good. And pulled it off.
Yeah, you did.
So, but it's just weird. It's like, I like things that come out of left field that are unexpected and pull a foot out of my comfort zone, whatever it is. So if I'm a guitarist playing in bands and someone says, hey, you want to be the lead singer? I was like, I was not expecting that. Let's do it. Or like whatever it is. So you end up with a very interesting, diverse, never boring, never burning out kind of life. Because it's very easy to burn out on this shit. If all you do is tour, after a while, it's very easy to hate it. And you just feel like a robot. And you've just lost your sense of self, and you just, but if it's like, you know what, I'm going to stop solo touring and I'm going to sing lead for this band, and then I'm going to produce this band, and then I'm going to teach these courses at this college, and then I'm going to make this crazy music for this little indie horror movie, and then you have a very musical life that never gets dull and never gets boring. And it's great doing that shit. Yes, don't just... Yeah, like as a musician, for everybody, there's so much more you can do than one thing. Music is very vast and diverse where you hear it. And go for it all. Do it all. Yeah.
Excellent. So we are at the end of the show. Where can people look you up? Where can they see social media? Where can they buy your hot sauce? Where can they do all the cool things that you have going on?
Thanks, man. Anything Bumblefoot. Bumblefoot. So anything on social media, except for TikTok. Somebody stole the fucking name. So that one is Bumblefoot Official. Everything else, not that I use TikTok. I'm too damn old for that shit. Get off my lawn! So, but everything else, just Bumblefoot, whatever it is. And for the hot sauce, Bumblefoot's hot sauce. Except that name was too long for Twitter, so Bumble's hot sauce. But not that he's using Twitter anyway. But so that's it.
All right. On that, thank you for joining us today. It has been an absolute blast getting in to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you both so much. Thank you for all the good questions, too. Oh, and somebody was asking about Sex with Ducks. That's the last thing I'll say. It was the name of a song. It was this crazy instrumental song that was on a demo that I first sent into Shrapnel Records when I got my record deal. And it was a song I made when I was like 19. And in the middle of the song, I was making quacking noises and sex noises with the guitar. So it sounded like, yeah. And so the song was called Sex with Ducks. And that was, 1988, 89, something. And,
that is fantastic. All right, on that, everybody, please have a very safe and wonderful Memorial Day. We are out of here. We will see everybody soon. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.